What it do, Libras? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl King. Get you some. Get you some more. Welcome back, Libras. Grand Risings and Grand AM to you. Hello to all of my new subscribers, my faithful, ever-growing few, and for those of you just breezing on through, what it do, Libras? Sun, moon, rising, north node, wherever Libra may be sprinkled in your chart, you are definitely welcome right here. We're back to these Sunday night messages, Libras, these downloads I received from the team. They had me taking very copious notes to deliver these messages. Now again, some of these messages may be interconnected. Some of these messages you may resonate with. Some of these messages you may not. But the usual rules, do still apply. So Libras, please do only take the messages that vibrate within you. If it's not what rings true for you, the most likely, Libra, it's not what it do. Go ahead and just leave it right here. Now, as in the first video for Sunday Night Stories, as well as in this video, there will be no cards in usage. Just like to burst your bubble, I know we like to see. But this time, maybe it's more important to listen. So we are going to dive right on into these energies, Libra, to see what may be going on in your circumference, your cipher, your circle, your auric field. Something about these May-December romances. Now, I don't know if you experienced a heartbreak or someone else that is connected to you or that was connected to you experienced some type of heartbreak due to a May-December romance. An older masculine contacted a feminine energy. Now, this feminine energy could be a bartender, a business owner. She's an info dealer of some sort. She knows people. So this masculine asked this feminine if she knew a guy. So there's more energies of New York here. New York seems to be ringing present through a few of these messages. Because I'm actually hearing someone with a New York accent say, I know a guy that knows a guy. It's one of those type energies. So whoever this feminine is, this info dealer, she hooked up this masculine with contact info for a cheap PI. Now, this PI, I'm hearing gumshoe. So he could be new to the business. Whoever this private investigator is, they may just be starting up. They may not have a well-established client list as of yet. They're very much new to the game, still wet behind the ears. However, according to this feminine contact, this PI, even though he may be new booty, new to the business, new to the industry, he is good at what he does, and he does find his target or his subject. Whoever this masculine is, he is very wealthy. I mean, wealthy in the realm of old money. He has a butler, a chauffeur, a right-hand man. Now, this person or one person may share all of those roles. The butler, the chauffeur, the right-hand man. I'm getting that this is one person. This is a yes man. So, after receiving this contact info from this feminine, the wealthy man sent the yes man to pick up this PI for an arranged meeting. So within this meeting, The wealthy man explained to the PI that he was searching for a feminine, and Libras, that could be you. But this wealthy older, because he's an older masculine, this wealthy older masculine kind of alluded to the fact that he was looking for his daughter. And the only reason that this search for his daughter story formulated is because when the PI started asking questions, okay, so you want me to look for this feminine? Well, you know, who is this feminine? How do you know her? What's your connection to her? You know, why is she missing? Or, you know, what are her last whereabouts? Where do you think she went? What have you? So he started asking all these questions, but he was asking leading questions. And if you've ever watched any type of cop drama, sometimes you'll see within the storyline of the show, or, you know, it could be a reality TV show like Cops or The First 48, something like that. But sometimes you will hear investigators ask suspects or alleged suspects leading questions. Like, for instance, so let's just say somebody was suspected of being around a crime scene or in the area of a crime scene. So the investigator may pose a question to the suspect like, so you live around, you know, Eastern Park, and we know you like to hang out at that park, so you were probably there on this day. What time would you say you were probably at the park that day? Like, it's a leading question, so you're kind of giving the person part of the answer that you want back in return. That was a lot. But that's to say, again, that this investigator was asking leading questions, so he kind of gave the story of a father searching for his lost or his missing daughter. He kind of supplanted that storyline towards this older masculine. And so after asking a line of questions, the PI flat out told this wealthy masculine, like, look, I know this is not your daughter, because of course the wealthy masculine showed the PI a picture of you. And so when he looked at the picture, first of all, he thought you were very attractive. Matter of fact, he thought you were gosh damn fine. So it was then that he flat out told this wealthy masculine, like, I know you're lying, that she don't even look like she would be your daughter. This doesn't even seem like a father-daughter connection. This seems more like a sugar daddy, sugar baby situation. So this infuriated the wealthy masculine. It made him mad that the PI kind of wasn't going with a father looking for his lost daughter story, and he broke character. So that was just further confirmation to this PI that, of course, this was not, you know, some saddened father trying to locate their daughter. The PI asked this wealthy man if he had further information on you or specific information on you. And this wealthy male provided this PI with a file. Now, what I'm getting is that this file, or these files that were given to this PI, were on a disc. But they could be actual physical papers, like a portfolio or a folder full of actual physical paper documentation. These files could contain past medical, dental, or fingerprint records of you. Now, these files, your past medical, dental, fingerprint information. These files were ascertained from preliminary investigations done by the wealthy male's private investigators from his firm or his corporation or his company. Whatever this business is that this wealthy man owns, he has private investigators that work for the company. So at some point in time, before calling in this PI, these investigators went searching and looking for information on you. They didn't get much, but there's partial dental, medical, and fingerprint information that these investigators were able to get their hands on. Somehow or another, these private investigators obtained a copy or a sample of your DNA, your genetic code. And this PI asked specifically if this wealthy male just happened to have any type of DNA information on you or DNA evidence. And so the wealthy man was questioning this PI like, well, why would you need like DNA information? And the PI told him, well, in case like she's not found alive, then that would be the best way to make sure that's who you truly were. So there was already some type of suspicion that you were off somewhere unalived, maybe. But the whole other reason for wanting a sample of your DNA or information on your DNA, your genetic markers, the PI was telling the wealthy man because like medical can be changed, like your body can be changed. We all are aware of plastic surgeries and the levels and lengths in which one can modify or alter their physical body. You can get dental work. You can get a whole new grill, and your grill could not look like, you know, your original grill, like the mouth you grew into. So he was saying that some things can be altered or changed. So let's just say, you know, they're looking at dental records from when you were a teenager or something. Well, those dental records aren't gonna match up with you in the present if you've had dental work. Of course, your dental imprints or your bite imprint is going to change, especially if you've had dental work. So that's the whole reason in asking for some type of DNA information on you. This PI also asked for photos of your body because, again, he knew this old man was definitely lying to him when he tried to kind of put on the story about, oh, I'm looking for my daughter. No, you're trying to find your sugar baby who looks like they walked away from you. So the nudes were so that any type of signifying markers or, you know, tattoos or a birthmark or scars, signifiers upon the body, in case you were found somewhere unalive, they would be able to match those bodily signifiers to you. Someone's last name may be Lowell. This could be your last name. This could be this private investigator's last name. It could be this wealthy male's last name, but someone's name is Lowell. This wealthy man so wanted to locate you, so wanted to find you, that he tripled the PI's asking fee and promised him a $100,000 bonus if he were able to return you to him, and offered up, more like sent in to be a watcher, to supervise, offered up his yes man to kind of ride along with this PI until you were located. So the yes man was sent to be at the disposal of this PI. Now, this PI may have contacts at the phone companies or cell providers. He may also be using AI to conduct searches via the web, cross-referencing keywords, searching databases. He may have access to somehow be able to get into one's text messages or to get into your phone somehow. This PI went to see a contact of his. Now, this contact I'm getting is like a biologist, a virologist, a geneticist. I'm also hearing forensic pathologist. This is a professional person. I'm not getting that this is someone who just has knowledge in those areas or arenas. This is actually a professional, but they may do dirt on the side, meaning that because of their knowledge in their specific niche, whether it's virology or whether it's biology or whether it's working with genetics or being a forensic pathologist, yes, they may be a professional, but again, they may do dirt on the side. And what I heard was that this person can, was, did, and does, it's a whole gosh damn lot, fix cases. So whoever this is has the ability to manipulate evidence. And this PI shared with this contact, this geneticist, this forensic pathologist, a sample of your DNA. And this contact told the PI that when he looked at your DNA, when he looked at your genetic markers, your genetic codes, what he discovered is that you don't have any congenital issues, nor are you prone to cancer. And he said verbatim, you were a 1 in a million specimen. Whoever this forensic pathologist is, this geneticist that helps to fix cases, they're also an info dealer. There's something going on here with organ harvesting and trafficking. Yeah, I said that. Specifically, someone here was looking to harvest your liver, your kidney, your reproductive organs. Some, one, or all of the above. You may be aware that this kind of attempt was enacted upon you to traffic you, to harvest bodily parts from you. This contact, this forensic pathologist, this geneticist, feels like you know yourself and that you know your worth, meaning that you may innately know that you are considered to be a high value commodity. There are individuals, and this has come up in readings before, so this is not new, this whole harvesting situation, because you're a starseed and because you are a high ticket. And I don't mean to invalidate your humanity, your divinity in any way, but there are those out there that consider you to be a high value item. So those energies seek to remove your humanity, your divinity, and objectify you. You're just a thing to be utilized, to be used, to be doled out in pieces. So this contact feels very much that you are aware of whom you are, but not only whom you are, but what is contained within you. Now, whomever this contact is, this forensic pathologist, he told this PI that you might be doing mission work, but that you could have gotten caught up and that you may have been off gallivanting with some masculine energy, being quite careless. Apparently, that was the last word on the street, that yeah, you could be doing your mission work, yeah, you could be on your journey, but that you had gotten caught up somehow with a masculine, and that you were off kind of gallivanting, being careless is what this contact said. Fast and fancy free is what I just heard. This could have something to do with a grand scale underground black market operation. A very well-known large corporation, possibly with brick and mortar stores set up as washing factories. And I don't know what a washing factory is, and so I asked. And what the team said is, and there's something here about nickel and dime. I don't know what that is, but these washing factories are false front businesses, meaning that there's an actual physical store, there's a brick and mortar store, and it appears that this store does or sells this product, and maybe they do provide a certain service or sell a certain product, but that is just a false front. It's a facade. It's what it appears to be, but that's not actually what it is. There are other things going on. There's a business behind the business. There's a false front business. So one business washes the other. So while this business is operating in the front, there's some background shit. There's a background business going on behind what you see or what you think is going on. No, there's some other shit going on, some deeper, darker shit being ran in the background. There's a business behind a business. Someone might sue BB. Now, think about what I just said. Might sue BB. Now, repeat that a few times fast in your head. And the corporation rhymes with that. So again, might sue BB. Say it a few times fast. Some of you will get it, some of you will not. It's okay. But the corporation that may have a hand in this black market operation of harvesting and trafficking, the name of that corporation rhymes with might sue BB. So after this PI met with this virologist, this forensic pathologist, this biologist, unbeknownst to them, this contact collected a DNA sample from this PI. And again, unbeknownst to this PI. So I don't know if something was offered to this PI by this contact, by this forensic pathologist, but he left the DNA sample behind, and that contact picked up, collected his DNA sample, and I have a feeling that this contact is holding on to this PI's DNA sample as collateral, as a bargaining chip, as insurance for later. So we'll put that to the side. So this forensic pathologist pointed this PI in the direction of another contact, another male that could somehow help him figure out where you are, where you went, what happened to you. Because again, you separated yourself from whoever this wealthy male is. I just heard for some of you, you don't know this wealthy male. This whole even sugar baby, sugar daddy scenario connection is not holding true. That's a lie too for some of you. So whoever this forensic pathologist set this PI up with, this other contact, took this PI to a black ops facility. I feel like this is connected to or related to Nyght Bibi. They broke into this facility. This contact, this other male that was introduced to the PI, has some type of programming or hacking capabilities, skill set. They hacked into this facility, and I very much get the feeling that this contact, this hacker, this programmer has been there before. So once inside this facility, because this hacker hacked into the security system and knew, how to navigate this building, this facility. And he was explaining to the PI that this was an automated cold storage facility. It's run by AI, so it's completely automated. So AI is running this cold storage facility. This facility houses clones. Clones that are utilized for parts. And if you've been watching my channel, if you've been with me for a while, you know this has come up before. Actually, quite a while ago. I would venture to say more than a year ago. This came up that someone might have been proposing to kidnap you and to traffic you and harvest you and basically not even sell you, but sell parts of you to the highest bidders. So in this room, this PI is looking at all of these life-size stabilization tanks, which he can see inside of, and there are bodies stabilized, floating in fluid. This programmer, this hacker, explained to this PI that these clones were indeed being held so that their body parts could be auctioned off to the highest bidder. Someone had planned that for you. Now, I don't know if it's this wealthy masculine that's so invested in finding you, if he planned on cloning you, or what the deal is there. But someone had it on their mind, in their hearts, in their deepest, wildest intentions to place you in such a facility. At some point in time, security had been alerted, and while trying to make it out of the facility, something happened between this PI and this programmer or this hacker, and basically this PI left the hacker behind to escape, to get out of the facility, to get the fuck away from security. He kind of double crossed this contact, and I mean, he didn't really know the person, so I can't really say it's a bad thing. I mean, if you're someplace you're not supposed to be and security's coming and you're in a place that is doing things of this nature, if security is alerted, they're not coming to get you to escort you back off the premises. They're coming to escort you out of this realm, okay? They don't, people don't just, you know, attempt to break into places like this. I'm not gonna say it probably never happens, because it maybe does. The energy is here. This is not coming up for no reason. And again, this isn't the first time that this storyline has come up. So even though there's no cards here, I trust and I know very much in what I speak of. So this PI basically left this hacker, this program that helped him break into this facility. You know, security got to come and shit got hot. And the PI broke out, said, fuck you, you're on your own, every man for himself. Again, you know, I'm not saying I concur, I'm not saying I condone his actions. But again, he didn't really notice contact. It was kind of their first meeting, so I mean, I guess when danger arrives, you know, save yourself. Listen, whatever. The gist of this is that this PI went back to this wealthy male and told him that he could not find you. He couldn't find you. So the wealthy man lied to him about why he was employing him to, quote unquote, look for you. And the PI lied to the wealthy man about actually having found you. I don't know what information this PI gave to this wealthy man, but whatever he told him, it's like this wealthy man took it to heart. He took the information. So much so that he went ahead and paid this PI for a job completed. Now you would think that this wealthy male would have verified whatever information this PI gave to him about you, but he didn't. Because if he would have verified whatever information the PI gave him, he probably would have discovered that this PI was lying, that he didn't find you, he didn't know your whereabouts, he didn't know really anything about you, minus, you know, what he discovered from the files he was given by this wealthy male. So again, I don't know what's going on with the harvesting, with the traffic king. But I feel like very much whoever this wealthy masculine was, I get very much from this storyline that he discovered somehow that you're a starseed, that you're a divine being, that you're an emperor, that you're an empress. I mean, you have very unique, almost rare genetics. You're not prone to congenital issues. You're not susceptible to cancer. This would make you a very profitable and highly sought after, again, commodity, because someone was looking to clone you and sell your very well off body parts to the highest bidder. And it's unfortunate because in this world, in this realm, we do know, and there has been a lot of proof, and especially, I would say within the past 20 to 30 years, about the fact that organ sales are big business, because there are a lot of sick people in the world. There are a lot of sick people with money in the world. And sometimes being on the waiting list can literally watch you waste your life away, waiting for a heart, waiting for a lung, waiting for a kidney, waiting for a liver. You might actually die sitting on that waiting list, waiting for a match. What this geneticist, or this forensic pathologist, this virologist, this biologist, whatever this person told the PI, they also mentioned that it would be easy to manipulate your genes. Like CRISPR is coming up. So we're talking about gene splicing. And if y'all have been doing your own research, if you're in the know, then you know. These types of technologies have been in usage for a very long time, and I'm very sure that they are much further along than we could ever guess at this time. I mean, when did they first clone that sheep? I think her name was Lucy, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. But it was a big thing. It was in the newspaper. The first cloned sheep, they cloned the sheep. It was this sheep, they cloned it, and they made another sheep that was exactly the same as this first sheep. Again, CRISPR has been around, I don't know what, like probably 20 years or more. CRISPR's been along for a long time. CRISPR. CRISPR, again, is a tool that helps scientists to be able to splice DNA or cut in other things into a genetic code. So because you're a starseed, because you're an empress, because you're a light being, because you have out of this world, and I'm going to say it again, because you have out of this world genetics, you're a high ticket item. You're a high commodity. Could you imagine if you were able to manipulate and then duplicate clones that would grow within them organs that were impervious to cancer, to certain congenital issues, to a range, a myriad of health problems. But these organs are impervious to cancer, to syphilis, to diabetes, to Crohn's disease, to heartburn, to IBS, to just whatever disease, whatever ailment. What if you could grow and sell organs that were impervious to disease? Could you imagine? And if they could just find that one starseed, that one empress with those genetics, that genetic code, well, then they could make billions more. Are you listening? Billions more. Libras. You're just not that easy to copy, to duplicate, to replicate, to clone. You have high protection around you. And that's why this shit is just not going down like this. This is why a lot of you are hidden in plain sight. People be looking for you, searching for you all the fucking time, Libra. You listening to what I'm saying? They be looking, they be searching, sending skip tracers, goons, goblins, fucking boogeymen. Let me tell y'all a very, very, very short story. Someone thought it would be interesting to project a boogeyman into my home not so long ago. I had to laugh at that energy, and I did. I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud because some of this shit is just hilarious to me. Me and Buddha have been working together, and Buddha reminds me about the light-hearted side of life. And even though people do dark shit, and there's a lot of dark things going on in this realm at this time, you know, like organ harvesting, there's still a lighter side, there's still a silver lining. So I laughed at the fucking boogeyman because I'm like, you don't belong here and you won't stay here. It wasn't even a return to sender, it was, you don't belong here, so you can't stay here. And of course, boogeyman did not, because we don't play that shit here. We don't do that here. Libras, I'm quite sure some of you operate the same way. We don't do that scary shit. Keep that over there, okay? Keep it way the fuck over there. Don't do that. Don't do that. How old are we now? How old are we now? You sending boogeymans? Someone's really trying to trigger childhood wounds. I don't know, some of you may have been afraid of the dark, something in the closet, something underneath your bed. Now, when I was a child, another quick story. When I was a child, and my sister and I shared a bedroom. In our closet was the opening into the attic, okay? And there was no covering. So you would open our closet door, it was a walk-in closet. You would open our closet door, and I would say this opening was probably, I don't know, maybe like 5 feet tall, maybe like 3 foot wide, but it was just a rectangle cut in the sheetrock, and it was pitch black. Every time I opened that gosh damn closet door, flicked on the light, there was nothing but darkness staring at me from the opening of the attic. And after a while, I don't know what it was, but my dad went to the store and just bought a piece of particle board, put a piece at the top and like, you know, a large one at the bottom, and then just some clips that you could twist like this. You could twist the clips and then just pull the particle board, the door piece down or slide it to the side, whatever. I was so happy when he put up that gosh damn particle board so I didn't have to stare into the void, into the darkness, because I felt like there was something in that fucking attic. And before I moved out of that house, whatever was in the attic came to let me know it was trying to get me. Like the last night we lived in that house, it was fucking with me. The spirit and whatever was in that attic, it was fucking with me. I say that to say, people have known who you were, Libra, because this is a running theme, and not just through these Sunday night stories, but this has been a running theme through a lot of the readings, most of the readings. And people knew whom you were before you did. When you were a child, your family members knew. They did. Your co-workers knew. A lot of your exes knew, because they were narcs. The narc empath dynamic, right? Bosses, friends. It's a bunch of people. You know why? Because energy speaks louder than words. It always has, and it always will. Energy is more powerful than words. People have always known who you were, Libra. That's why you've been so highly sought after your whole life. That's why you've been so highly fucked with most of your life. if not all, because people know who you are. And they wanted to destroy that. They wanted to take that from you. They wanted to steal it. They wanted to occupy it theirself, even though some of these individuals clearly, and you know how I feel about this word, but it's so strong I'm gonna say it, some of these people really fucking hate you. I mean, with a capital H, A-T-E. And it's quite contradictory because a lot of these people want to be you, which doesn't make any kind of sense at all. You want to be something that you hate? Make it make sense. Where do those scales balance out? Well, they fucking don't. They just plain don't. There's a lot of nonsensical shit that happens here in these readings and the energy. And yes, there always is a reason for why certain things occur, even if we don't get to the understanding of it. There's always a reason. And sometimes we don't need full understanding of why something happens, because sometimes it's not necessary that we do. Because sometimes searching for the reasoning of why something occurred, you might spin yourself in circles. But why? But why? But why? But why? But why? You don't have time for that. You're on your mission. You're on your path. And there's nothing that these people can do that is going to take you off your journey. As much as they try, and fail again, they will. Because no weapon formed against you will prosper. It's not that the weapon won't form, it's that it won't prosper. You're protected. You have the Most High's favor. You can't be cloned, you can't be duplicated, and you can no longer be manipulated. And it's interesting because there are those who have been sent to get you, and after having discovered who you were or found information on you, had some type of dealings with you, whether this is by proxy, through information about you from others, or whether some of these individuals have actually encountered you in the physical, and for some in the 5D. You're a catalyst, Libra. You change a lot of hearts and minds. You change a lot of spirits. You shift souls. You're a lighthouse. You're a light bearer. So even though this PI was hired by this wealthy male to find out where the fuck you are, I guess so that they could formulate this plan to go ahead and KID nap you so that you could be cloned, so that your genetics, your genetic code, your genetic marker could be copied, could be manipulated, could be adjusted, could be sold to the highest bidder. Auction, anyone? No, Libra. The Most High said no. Your spiritual team said no. Guess who else said no? Guess who else said no? This fucking PI. This PI said no. This PI found out the real, true intentions of what this wealthy masculine was looking for you for, and he lied. He lied not necessarily to protect you. He lied to get that money. He lied because he figured if the wealthy man's private investigators from his corporation, from his firm, had already been out doing some type of preliminary investigation, that had already been out trying to search up, dig up information on you, and they had only gathered this amount of information, if the wealthy male had to hire this PI who was someone outside of that to do more investigating, I feel like this PI figured, because the original investigators had only found so much, and it was less than what he had found out about you, your location, your whereabouts, where you go, your routine, this, and that. I think he felt like, well, if he was the only one that could find out more information, and again, this PI may be new to the industry, but he's very good at what he does. Not only does he feel that way confidently on the inside, but others that he's worked with, even though he may be new, feel the same way too. So I think he felt like this wealthy man, even though he may have a lot of resources, even though he may have private investigators at his disposal, if they could only find this much information and this PI found other information, then the wealthy man probably was only going to be able to find this information. Probably wasn't going to be able to find out anything else. And since the wealthy man didn't verify whatever information the PI gave him, he was like, well, fuck it, I'm just take the money and dip. He's probably not going to find out that I lied to him about what I told him about Libra. He's not going to check it, so let me just go ahead and get my money. So again, it wasn't so much about protecting you, it was to benefit him. But you kind of got some coverage from him in the interim because he lied and said, well, here's what I found about Libra. All lies though. Whatever he told this wealthy man, all lies, wasn't true. Wherever he told him you go or you frequent or where you live, whatever, all lies. All lies, because he knew that this wealthy man wasn't going to verify it. So there's a bunch of people in your corner, Libra, whether you know it or not, seen and unseen. What's the saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that's, I guess, how this PI felt about this wealthy man. Because he saw that, you're a good person. And maybe that this wealthy man should leave well enough alone. That you're too precious to be cloned, to be sold off and sold away. Libras, please do continue to utilize your own intuition and discernment to make the very best decisions for your highest good. And I know that you will, because I feel it, and I see it, and I feel it. Any and all pertinent information to this reading can and will be listed right down below in the description box. Pardon me. Libras, thank you so much for your presence, for your energy, for your vibes, your likes, your shares, your subscribes. They are all integral parts of this channel, and I would not be here if it were not for your viewership. So whether you are subscribed or just passing by, thank you. I love you. United we stand. Together we rise. Oh, Libras. I forgot. I think I forgot to mention in the last story, there were two things. Roman numerals MMMCVII. And what those Roman numerals translate to, M is 1,000. So you have 3 M's. So you have MMM, so that's 3,000. And then you have C. C is 100. One C is 100. So you have 3,000 and then 100, and then you have VII. So that's 7. So 3107 or 3,107 could be significant to you in some shape, form, or fashion. Also, I think I forgot to mention that the hitman that went to the Bruja, the bitch who does all that voodoo and shit, so the boss man said, this Bruja just happens to be, and again, I don't think I mentioned it, I think I forgot, just happens to be the same voodoo priestess that your mother went to when you were a child to place a spell over you. So that you would have higher gifts. And I'm hearing so that you would be more prodigy-like. Yeah, this is the succubus that jumped on the hitman and turned him from a boy in a man's body to a man in a man's body. Same chick. And she actually told this. So when the hitman was telling her about you, that he had to somehow fix the fact that he quote unquote made you pull back from your gifts. He had to somehow rectify that. Again, remember, so that you would go back to your gifts and make money for this group or for this boss again. So there's that. Libras, we'll be back with more downloads. More downloads, no cards for these readings. Calm down. Back to the cards. I know we're very visual. I'm a very hands-on person. I like to touch things. I like to see things, although we don't touch with our hands or touch with our eyes. Y'all know the damn saying. I gotta go. I love you. Holla at your girl. Peace.